So, this is True Floater here, and I'm doing a review on Star Wars Black Series Luke Skywalker. And I'm pretty sure this is the look he had in The Mandalorian Season 2. I think he had a different look in Boba Fett, which I'm not a big fan of. It's alright, but I prefer either this look or his more original look. This is a rare video for me. I usually don't do any reviews on Star Wars content, or really any Star Wars content, or definitely Black Series figures, and the same thing goes for Transformer figures. I just don't do them often because I'm not the biggest fan of the main line that does them, which is the Black Series. And I only have, this is my second Black Series figure, and I don't see myself getting any more in the future. I thought, I saw it in the stores, like, screw it, why not? I'll go ahead and pick it up. And I would hope this would change my mind on these figures and go out and get more of them. But if anything, it makes me want to get them less. Like, there's a lot of things wrong with this figure. There's some good things going for it as well, but it just seems more of just certain decisions they made that made no sense. Now, first thing we'll go into, sorry that was a bit of an abrupt change, but is the aesthetics, the sculpt, mainly the sculpt and the paint. Granted, the paint's not too hard to really talk about. It's black. He's all black. There's some silver linings across the figure, but besides that, he's basically a overall black figure. So the paint's pretty much perfect. It would be very hard to mess up the paint. So the strongest pro about this figure is that it has a great looking sculpt. The face sculpt is really good. I really like the face sculpt. Very much resembles Mark Hamill, in my opinion, at least a younger one. Especially how you pose him around and how far away you are from him. He looks more like him. When you get closer, it starts to not resemble him, but that applies to most figures. But like it's a really beautiful sculpt, especially his little cloak. We'll focus more on this. His cloak is very detailed. Like, honestly, especially I've seen some other Star Wars Black Series figures. I always assume they use soft goods sometimes, but no, this is plastic. This is plastic. It's just a really good sculpted cloak. They could have been real lazy on it. They really could have, but they didn't. They went above and beyond. Same thing applies for here. The pants are sculpted real nicely. I think they did the wrinkles really well, and that applies for the arms as well. And again, a very good face sculpt. But that's about it. Like, oh, he's falling. That's the only good thing I can really just fawn over is the sculpt. There's just many other problems that turns this figure from being, it could be an 8 out of 10 figure, to I guess being a 5.5 out of 10 figure, maybe a 6 out of 10. Now we go on to the articulation. The articulation is by far the worst thing on this figure, and apparently I've seen multiple images. A lot of Star Wars Black Series figures have the same problem. Rarely there will be that one Star Wars Black Series figure that actually has a good articulation overall, just all around the figure. But more often than not, it's kind of disappointing and just weirdly lazy, which is kind of the whole line for the last couple of years. Just a lazy line, a lazy execution on most of their figures. He has no double jointed arms anywhere. I mean, cool, you can change the arm. Yeah, you can move them this way, which is the benefit of a single joint, but you could just give us a double joint and then do a bicep swivel, and that would make more sense. Oh yeah, there's no bicep swivel, so it's gonna look awkward in some poses. Again, single jointed as far as you can get. Same thing for the knees. Even for female figures from Marvel Legends and JoJo Classified, they will always give you double jointed knees, but single jointed knees. And there's also no thigh swivel. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm dumb. There is a thigh swivel, so that's nice. There's also, again, with the single joint, a knee swivel, which is kind of pointless to have when you have a thigh swivel and also a boot swivel. So I don't see the point in having that swivel right there. Again, this double jointed knees would have made more sense. Pivot in the foot. Did I already say, yeah, boot swivel? Yeah, you can rotate his abdomen. I think there's a ball joint. There's a ball joint in here as well, so he goes that far out. So barely, he doesn't really go that far out at all. He goes pretty far back, so that's nice. I would prefer it to be the opposite, but and there's some exciting things. Oh yeah, hands, swivel on the hands. The best joint they've applied to this figure, which surprised me, is that they put a ball joint in the neck. So you may not be able to see that, but his neck can go down, which again adds more articulation into the head as well, because the hair gets in the way, so he can't look back that far. But with the neck, also the ball joint neck being applied there, he can somewhat look further up better and makes up for it. He doesn't look that far up, but and then he can look down this far. And it would be worse if he didn't have that ball joint in the neck. He also has a ball joint in the head. He has some side to side action going on there. And like, there you go. That's pretty much the articulation for this Luke Skywalker. I ain't gonna lie to you. I may sell this figure. I have no idea. I was better off getting a Mafex Luke Skywalker or an SH Figure Arts Luke Skywalker or whatever. This is not it. The articulation is just very lackluster. It makes you want more, and it's hard to pose around this figure, because again, you can't do much with him. I'm gonna have some pictures up for y'all, but like, I really couldn't do much with this guy. I really couldn't do much of anything at all. And now we're gonna go into the accessories, and if you're wondering why I have him dressed up a little different, that's because these are all the accessories he comes with. He comes with, of course, what you would expect from any Jedi, his lightsaber, and he comes with a cloak. What I do like about the cloak is that it's soft cloth. You know, it's a soft goods cloak. It's not hard plastic. I will always prefer soft goods over plastic any day, simply because it doesn't get in the way of the articulation. It's very manageable. It's very easy to use, unlike a hard one, a plastic one that Marvel Legends keep using. Even Fortnite, I think, use soft goods. The Lightning Collection, the Power Ranger line, they use soft goods sometimes. And Star Wars Black Series, they do it. I think they've been doing it the longest, so that's nice to see. And the lightsaber, of course, if you don't want it in on, you can just pop it off. There you go. That is it. The lightsaber, which is expected, and the cloak. And I think I bought this guy for not $25. I think it was $26, maybe $27, including tax. It may have been $28. I think it was $28, but it was $25, $26 by itself. And for a Jedi, it comes with no extra hands. You would want some extra hands just to see him using the Force. And considering, again, the articulation is not that great, you can't even double wield with this guy. You can get it done, but like it's gonna be very limited in what he can do. So you would very much like some Force hands, so he can like use the Force and double, use his lightsaber in the other hand in some pictures. That would be nice, but they don't. No extra hands, no extra head, just a soft goods cloak, which is nice. And then his lightsaber that should automatically already be included in there. You don't get much for what you pay for. The figure already is very underwhelming, and like, it's only one good thing, and that's the articulation. And not the articulation, I'm sorry, the sculpt. That's it. So if I would have to say, is this figure worth getting? No. And if most Star Wars Black Series figures are the same way, this may have been my last Star Wars Black Series figure. I'll always go for the robots. I like the droids. I do like getting the droids, mainly because, one, they look good, and the articulation on those figures are actually really good. Really good. About as good as any other Hasbro product. But when it comes to their non-droid figures, trash. Not great at all. And again, same problem with Marvel Legends. It's like G.I. Joe classifies the only line that somewhat is consistent in giving you a decent amount of accessories. And even then, I think they don't do as much as they should. But yeah, I wouldn't get this guy. It's just not worth it. I was happy with him when I first got him, and then over time just got more disappointed. So you know, yeah, I'll give you my final thoughts, even though I kind of already said it, but maybe there's more I may have missed. Alright, so my final thoughts on this figure overall. I've had a rating from 1 to 10 as a figure by itself. I really know. If I had to rate the whole purchase, the accessories, the figure including, I would give this a 6.5. A 6.5 out of 10. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Their figure itself has a lot of, you know, negatives and a couple positives. Mainly just being the sculpt. That is it. A very beautiful looking sculpt. But the articulation is not good at all. It's very hard to pose around and do anything with the figure to make it look cool and dynamic. It doesn't come with enough accessories that a Jedi should have, and in my opinion makes it overpriced. And that's it. Quick to the point. There are two glaring reasons right there. Just wasn't worth it to me. I first bought it, I liked it. Over time, was like, why did I buy this? I may sell it, I may not. The market right now is just kind of hard to sell figures, especially when no one really wants them and also thinks they're overpriced. I mean, it's just weird. I sold some Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Marvel Legends for like $20. I mean, well, I'm selling them for $20 and no one has still bought them. So it's just, I don't know, just a waste of money. If I would give you a preference on this figure, just avoid it. Don't get it. Get something else, hopefully. But that will be it for this review. So yeah.